The stories shared on the Busy Baddies are submitted by real listeners and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. To protect the privacy of everyone involved, all names, companies, and identifying details have been changed or omitted. Any resemblance to real people or events are purely coincidental. We believe in keeping it real while keeping it respectful. Thank you for sharing your experiences and for trusting us to spill the tea with care.
When the lights go low and the real work begins, this is the Busy Baddies.
Where assistants come uncensored, the stories get spicy, and the corporate filter, Control Alt Delete.
I'm Michelle, EA to the CEO of a Fortune 150 company.
And I'm Mel, former C Suite EA turned admin rebel.
And we're here to talk about the real stuff, the stories that never make it to the all hands meeting.
Hey, baddies, welcome back. Wow, it's already 2026.
2026 in the house.
This year we're coming in hot. We are new year, new goals, new you, who dis?
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love a good reset of a new year?
It's the best way to
It
kick
is.
off a new year.
Yes.
I mean, we're all,
It's a restart.
we're all hitting the gym.
Yeah.
Gyms are busier.
Yes. I started around Thanksgiving last year because I'm like, okay, if I can get my mindset right before the holidays, I'm not starting out behind the 8 ball in January.
Yeah,
So I'm glad that I had that mindset shift
for sure.
of why wait till the new year because it's only going to be 15 more pounds that you have to lose instead of 5, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's a great way to kind of think about it.
Yeah, and New Year's are great for, new goals. I know I started a tradition maybe 4 or 5 years ago where every New Year's morning I start out with a goals and prayers for that year, and I make a list in my journal, and it's always fun, and I always have it on my phone too. And then at the end of the year for the previous year, so like this year 2025, I looked back through all my prayers and all my goals and marked through everything that came to pass, prayers that were answered, goals that I met, things that I did.
That's lovely.
To have like this sense of accomplishment and to find things to be grateful. Because I will say, 2025 was probably the hardest year of my life. There was a lot of family issues that were going on. My husband lost his mother. I stopped talking to my mom. Kind of in the same, like within 6 months of him losing his mom. So that was really like a kind of an out looking in was like, wow, this is crazy because this could be my mom and I wouldn't even be present for that. So thinking through like just New Year's, what can I do better? How can I be better? Ways that I can improve, and kind of going into even the mindset of work is included in that too.
Yeah. And I think when you kind of step back and think about it that way, like you're already starting the year on a positive note.
Yep.
Like you're just thinking of all of the good things that and kind of leaving that negativity, like it's not even in the forefront, like not even it bringing it.
No. And it's tough, but it's like, it's also encouraging. And I don't even remember where I started to do this, like where I got the idea, but it was like, it just came to me and it was something that I was just trying to be. Maybe it was when I turned 40 because I was just like, maybe it was a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm going to do one hard thing. So I did Tough Mudder, did the full Tough Mudder race. Never had ran before, never had worked out, never,
So what a way to just like, go big or go home, baby. I like it.
And I did it with a team of like, gosh, there was like 7 or 8 of us. And 5 out of 8 of us got like pretty bad injuries like from it. And I remember thinking, oh shit, like I
didn't think this all the way through.
I really messed up in what I chose to do, but it was like a mental thing. It was like, I want to do something and I want to push myself.
Yeah.
So it was like, I think that's when like, I feel like 20s, you're still trying to figure shit out. 30s, you're getting pretty comfortable in your skin. Like, I feel like my 40s, as I'm starting to close them out, is like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I am super comfortable with who I am.
Yeah.
I make no apologies.
Nothing to lose.
No.
Like, yeah.
No, I feel like really confident in myself. And it's just like, I'm going to go for it. Like, I'm going to do whatever.
Yeah, I love that. I think as last year kind of ended out, for me, I feel like I've had a lot of growth in my spiritual
That's great.
life. My son is 25, and he has decided to discern to be a priest.
Good for him.
So thank you. Very,
Yes.
very selfless.
Yes.
I'm sure for the fellow Catholics out there, they're like, oh my gosh, how do I get a son or a child that wants to be a priest? Like,
Yes.
Totally caught me off guard. It was nothing that I was expecting or anything. But as I've gone through supporting him in this journey, being raised Catholic, but not necessarily a practicing Catholic, just knowing that's what he's working to. And one day, should he, become a priest, like, I want to be right with, my faith, and I want to be able to enjoy that with him. And so last year I kind of, started going back to mass and just really learning about stuff that I probably never learned in the religion. When you're little and you're you're going through all of that stuff, you have no idea. And with TikTok, I mean, there's so much stuff I learn on TikTok. Yeah, there is such cool things, and so somehow I ended up on Catholic TikTok and learning so much stuff. So I was with my son over the Christmas break, spent a week with him. We did a road trip from Raleigh to DC, and went to mass in the national capital, and it was very, very cool. So I'm kind of entering 2026 building on that spiritual kind of path I'm on through my son, and he's now submitted his application, and now it'll just be a waiting game to see.
It's getting real.
It's getting real.
Yeah.
And who knew that it takes 8 years to become a priest? When he told me that, I was like,
crazy.
Wait, what?
That's like a medical college commitment. That's crazy.
Yeah. So just really excited to see where that takes him, and continuing on that journey. So for you setting, those prayers and those goals, I mean, I love that, and kind of doing the whole mindset reset.
Yes.
So
yeah, and I think as you get older, you naturally gravitate towards the human side of things. Because I know when I was younger, I never had a connection to religion.
Yeah.
I never was a person who cared about church, who never prayed about anything, who never. But I think as you get older, you have a different mindset in life when it comes to, you see your grandparents pass, you see your parents getting old, aging, life becomes a little bit more precious, and you just really get a little bit more grounded.
Yeah.
And not that you should be ashamed of religion. I don't ever want to say that. I was never ashamed, but I never really thought of myself as being able to be religious and it be received well amongst friends or whatever. You know what I mean? Where it's like nowadays, I feel like it's acceptable.
Yeah, absolutely. And even with that, I mean, there's so many religions out there, and obviously not to get in some religious, spiral, but I do think that it's more acceptable. I mean, you hear leaders talking about it more. My boss is very spiritual. That's a big part of her life, and she speaks, about that in her story. And so I agree that it's just kind of a little bit more okay.
It's not as taboo as it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So kind of like picking up on what you said around the mindset reset, that is a great way to put it. I think when I think of a reset, I think of kind of putting the past in the rear view, figuring out, how to let go of what that mental clutter was. And like I spoke to, in the opening of last year was very cluttered. A boss who I had grown extremely close to retired, really was detrimental at such a horrible time when everything else was blowing up in life. My husband lost his job. My husband was losing his mom. There was just all these things that were going on, and it's like if I keep carrying that, it's just going to carry over into the next year and make it done. So I think that's a really important thing is you have to let go of the mental clutter, whether it was a bad mid-year review, a bad year-end review. Don't carry around the mistakes that you made last year. Just learn how to be better from them, learn from them, move on, improve, and just get better.
No, absolutely. And I think, you learn, you grow, and then, let it go.
Yep.
Let it, what's the
Elsa? Let it go. I will save everyone the song that I was going to sing. But it's true. I mean, it's very, very true.
Because I think baggage, I mean, I don't know what other word to use, but it will follow you as long as you let it.
Yes.
So I love letting go of last year's mental clutter.
Yep.
and make room for more, because we all know that as the year goes on, there's going to be something.
There's going to be new problems this year. Absolutely. Sure. It happens.
Another thing I think for the mindset reset is we can try to be better managing burnout before it hits.
Yep.
There's another year of learning about yourself. You're another year into the role. So make sure you're using, your knowledge to help you plan for this year.
Yep.
Maybe you are a newer admin, and so last year was a year of learning and just figuring a lot of stuff out. You maybe started at a new company,
new leader.
I mean, whatever the case may be, make sure you're now adjusting with, oh my gosh, I remember last year in April, it was insane. And so I'm going to do XYZ so that does not happen this year. Just really be mindful of what the things were, time of year. We're in a company that's very cyclical, and you kind of can, you know when to expect maybe the ebbs and the flows, and just get better at proactively planning for those things.
Yeah, and like you said, you know that you get the bucket of PTO time. So if April's going to get crazy, maybe instead of banking that time off for the end of the year, maybe you be intentional about taking some time in March or on the backside of April just to get through those really hard times, knowing it's coming. Why not prep for it?
Yeah, or maybe there's a Wednesday that you would have never thought to take off, and you want to know what? Just that mental break in the middle of a busy week or a busy time.
Yep.
Maybe try that. Maybe it'll feel a little bit better, and you'll get through that easier.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people aren't as lucky as we are. So we have what's called a shutdown in between Christmas and New Year's, which is basically a week that we get in addition to our PTO. So I feel like after Thanksgiving, the whole entire company kind of goes to a screeching halt because people start to use their PTO.
Yeah.
We have a lot of long timers who have been there for a long time, get lots and lots of PTO. But that shutdown to me is one of the greatest gifts, because not only can you be intentional about spending time with family, it's a good time for you to just focus on you and starting fresh and having that time to reset. So I'm so grateful, and kind of thinking through that of, building a resilience plan for the new year while also reframing failure as information.
Two very great concepts.
Yeah. And I think about even going back to the conference that we attended and, talking about resilience.
Yeah.
where Tissa Richards touched on that in her book. And I think about resilience is bouncing back, and you have to be resilient in order to grow.
Yeah.
Like, growth comes from uncomfortable things, uncomfortable conversations, failures, fall downs. We all have them. Anybody who says that they don't, there's no such thing as a perfect person.
Yep.
I've had career failures. I've had mistakes that I've made. It's how you bounce back from them that really defines you. So
yeah, and I think a big part of the resilience as well is also kind of stretching what you're willing to do.
Yep.
Maybe, you've been in a role 3 or 4 years, and now's the time that you kind of take the lead on something, to where maybe you just normally was on the team but not leading anything. So I think there's a big part of growth, resiliency in you just recognizing that it's your time to push yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and we're never going to push ourselves the way someone else will anyway. So you may as well go ahead and do it and get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But when I think of, pushing, or I just think of, how can I be better? Like, even thinking of something as simple as AI. Maybe instead of doing like a goals and prayers, maybe make a list of 5 things that you want to accomplish in your career this year, whether it be, I want to use AI on a daily basis. I want to, kind of implement the tool that you touched on last year in one of the episodes, where you map out your leader's calendar and let them know where they're spending their time. Like, do intentional things that are going to move the needle and be impactful for your leader.
Yeah.
And you're going to grow in that.
For sure.
Regardless.
Yeah. And you may even surprise yourself and your leader.
Yeah.
And it may be the new thing that you're going to remember in 2026 if you hadn't of pushed yourself or listened to the Biz-y Baddies and got an incredible tip. You're welcome.
That's right.
Pop off. Hello. I think that means a lot.
Yeah, it does. And even thinking through, if career development is something that you are really passionate about, then just setting the goal of, and warming your leader up to, I want to go to X local conference. I want to attend this online webinar.
Yeah.
I want to do this. Like, start advocating and speaking up for yourself. It's going to make you more resilient. It's going to make you more profitable for them, more marketable.
Yeah, and it's going to allow your leader to help you execute those goals.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you've spoken them, you've put them out there, and now as a leader, it's their, it kind of flips over to them owning that of, okay, now it's my job.
Yeah.
They've told me what they would like to do, and now I have to make sure it happens.
Yep, it shows initiative.
Absolutely.
And who doesn't love initiative?
All right, so let's kind of switch over from mind and talk about sustainable self-improvement.
Yeah.
Which I think in 2026 it's going to be so important, to kind of also think as the whole mind, body, soul. And that could mean a lot of different things for everybody. I know that something that you and I started mid-year last year was, being mindful about our health and wellness, and we started exercising. And, I am so thankful for, I would have never done it had you not started it and was like, hey, let's do this. And I was like, okay, I love a fitness buddy. So just having, a fitness routine that has allowed both of us, I feel, to kind of not only use that to get healthier, but to help, our mind, let off some steam and just frustrations, whatever the case may be.
Yes.
And I think we've both felt so much better.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to speak for you, certainly, but I think that's been a huge change in the second half of last year for myself.
Yeah.
Of just feeling better, all the things that come with.
Yeah, and I like the way that you put it. It's a holistic package. It's not, well, I'm just going to work out just to work out. You have to hit all areas, in my opinion. I have to be intentional about my mental well-being. I have to be intentional about the food that I'm putting in my body that's going to fuel me. I have to be intentional about my physical health. Do I want to be able to bend over and pick up my grandkids? And being able to pick up 20-pound dumbbells is pretty important if that's what I want to do. So you're training now for the body that you're going to have when you're 60 or 70. And I don't want to feel like I feel right now at 70 and 80, because I guarantee you it's going to be worse.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of where I was at last year of I'm not getting any younger.
Nope.
I was gestational diabetic when I was pregnant with my son, which means I have a much higher chance of just becoming a diabetic. I have so many diabetics on my father's side that it's just, I knew that if I didn't do something, I might as well just, start the insulin now because it was going to happen.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that ignorance isn't always bliss.
No.
Like, I think the more that you can take control, and like you said, just implementing the entire mind, body, spirit, physical, all of that, the end of last year, I feel like that's what helped me get through everything that I went through, was like being intentional. I went to therapy for, probably the third or fourth time in my life. It was extremely tough because who likes to talk about the hard things that you have to then face head on and do something about? Because you're either going to go insane or you're going to feel a mental load lifted. And it was like, I can't physically do what I need to in the current mindset that I have. So it was a total mindset shift. And I think working out for me has always been a good mental release, like you said. But for me, it's like clarity. Like, I get such a rush from working out. Like, physical gains are a big plus.
Yeah.
I'm not chasing a number on a scale. I'm not chasing a size. I want to be healthy.
Yeah.
And to me, healthy means I'm mentally well, I'm physically well, I'm eating well.
Yeah.
It's a holistic thing.
Absolutely.
Everybody's always like, well, what's your goal weight? Well, I mean, I would love to be 105 like I was in high school.
Wouldn't we all? Yeah.
But 105-pound me smoked.
Yeah.
Drank Mountain Dew like water.
Yeah.
Never ate. I mean, I was completely unhealthy. So would I rather be 105 or 175?
Yeah.
So I think that's a great call out when you say it's like a whole package.
Yeah. And for me, like there's a sense of accomplishment of like finishing the workout, like knowing it was hard. No, like even just getting in my car, driving, to get there. Like, that's the hard, like that in itself is part of making that decision of I'm choosing me.
Yep.
And so I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
And it could be anything.
Yes.
Whatever you are into, it could be a hobby that you used to do and like life happens and maybe you played hockey. I don't, and you just stopped doing it. Is, making that conscious decision at the start of a year of I'm going to get back to hockey.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. And I think just choosing something for yourself is huge.
Yeah. I love the way you put it. I am worth it.
Yeah.
Because you are.
Yeah.
And no one is going to invest in you the way that you will. And I think that it's so important to know that you are worthy of whatever it is that you want to do. Like you said, pick something up that you once loved, but you gave up because you had kids.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gone now.
Yeah.
I think it's that simple. Do what makes you happy and what brings you joy.
Yeah.
Life is too short. We spend way too much time at work to be miserable, to be unhappy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I started last year doing a thing like self-care Sundays, where even if it's just as simple as putting eye patches on at nighttime, having my Iron Man mask on that my husband calls it, which is my red light therapy mask.
I have one of those. Yes. I can't. I mean, it's just, and mine changes colors.
Yes.
So yeah. So it's just like, what color Iron Man do I want to be today? But even like, I love that thing.
Yes, and it's simple. It's just the little things. Like, just do something for yourself, even if it's once a week. You will be surprised. Filling up your cup, what'll happen.
Yeah. I think one very cool self-improvement idea is simplifying your goals down to one guiding word.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea.
And just like keep it simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like no nonsense. Like we don't need the paragraph.
No.
Just put it down to one guiding word and just chase that.
Yep.
You know, and it could be bravery.
Yep.
Whatever that may mean to you in your daily work life, like just, I'm going to do one thing today, make one decision that's leading with bravery.
Yep. So in that, let's pick our word for ourselves as we're sitting here.
Okay. Threw that one on me. All right.
So my one guiding word that I think of for 2026 is intentional.
Oh, okay.
I want to be intentional in how I show up for my husband, how I show up for my children, how I show up at work, all the ways. I just want to be intentional in every single thing that I do in 26.
I love that. Goodness.
Do we need to circle back on what your word is? And I can touch on a different subject.
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta think. I wasn't prepared for that. That's a big thing.
Let's see here. So, I think people also mistake long-term success is that, boring changes aren't a part of that, which to me, that's what the secret is.
Yeah.
Like we said, it doesn't have to be anything big. It can be in your mind something boring, but that could be the biggest thing that sets you up for long-term success.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how stupid or how mundane it sounds or how insignificant. Being intentional in a change is going to bring something forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Okay, I got my word.
Okay, what's your word?
Okay, mine. My word's going to be meaningful.
I love that.
I think every decision, everything that I do in 2026 this year is going to have meaning.
I love it.
Okay.
Meaningful.
Let's write.
I'm writing it down.
Write it down. Meaningful and intentional.
Yes.
So in the comments,
let's hear
what's your word.
Yeah, I love that.
And then we'll check in and see how everybody's doing. Maybe mid-year and we'll have a mid-year review. Everybody, be ready.
Check back with me the 1st of February and see how intentional I've been.
Yeah. So we hope this episode you've found something that can help you as you're getting ready for the year ahead and can really set you up for success.
Yeah, I think again, it's important not just to try to attack one, and I know that sounds overwhelming, but I think it's going to be very important that you look at yourself as a whole person and find ways, even if it's one way in each individual bucket of how can I be better? How can I grow? What's going to push me?
Yeah.
I love the guiding word for the year. And I see a lot of people even do dream boards.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
No.
But to me, that kind of goes hand in hand with this word. You could make that kind of the center of your board, everything else around that, be intentional. And, it can even be something as simple as I have always had a golden rule. When I leave a job and I go to a new one, I am never going to make less than 10,000 more than I made in that role before.
Yeah.
That's my rule.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I don't care if I don't get the job, if they don't want to pay me that. That's my personal goal for myself of being intentional. If I'm growing and I'm taking on more things or I'm going to learn a new person. I'm going to keep improving and I'm not going to go backwards.
Right. No, that's very true.
Maybe it's, I'm going to go from hourly to salary this year, or I'm going to get senior in front of my EA title instead of just being an EA. Like, it can be little things.
Yeah, or, I'm going to be, I want to lead a team instead of being a sole contributor.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of growth.
Yeah.
In kind of stepping into a leadership role.
Yeah, and if you see somebody on a team that you're on that needs some mentoring, offer to mentor them.
Yeah.
Offer to lift people as you kind of go, and just bring people along on the path. Like, just be intentional, I guess, is kind of a shameless plug.
I love it.
Yeah, well, happy 2026. Hopefully, again, leave 25 in the rear view. You don't live there no more.
That's right.
Just move on to bigger and better things and make 26 fantastic.
Yeah, 2026. Who dis?
Let's go.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. That's it for us today, bringing order to corporate chaos.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that follow button.
Yours truly, Melissa
and Michelle,
the Biz-y Baddies.